Gotcha. I would, anytime you want to, like for who you do it early. That's what I meant. Because that's what like people get mad. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Just wait till she goes. I got you. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. A reminder, there are no recordings during the press conference. Please make sure to silence cell phones, electronic devices, and whenever you get the mic to ask a question, give your name and affiliation. We're joined by Oklahoma head coach Patty Gasso and players Riley Boone, Kelly Maxwell, and T.R.E. Jennings. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Gasso, go to questions just for players. Players will leave, and then we'll go to questions just for Coach Gasso. So if you have an opening statement.
Sure. Memorable game. It was very exciting. Great pitching on both sides. We respect UCLA like nobody's business. They're such a good all-around team. Hitters, great hitters. They're just an all-around great team. This was an important game for both of us. And Kelly decided to throw one of the best games of her life today. And there was no way we would be pulling her after the job she was doing. TRA, what was really cool, Alina got hit in the eye, and we knew she was going to be out. TRA comes up right after that happened, hits the ball out. And then those are memories. Now this becomes life, right? So when you gather up together in 10 years, you're going to talk about those things. You're going to talk about this. And that's what's cool, is it's more than just winning and losing, because UCLA played toe-to-toe. We played toe-to-toe together. But there are just a few moments that you'll never forget.
All right, we'll open up for questions to players with Ryan on the front row, right?
Ryan Chapman, All Sooners. Kelly, what was working so well for you today?
God is good. I just want to say that I had an eye-opening conversation with Coach this morning, and I just put it all out there today.
All right, we'll get a front row left to James.
James Hale, CBS Sports Radio, 105.3 HD1. TRA, talk about your at-bat and your home run, and you know what Coach talked about there. Did that give you some kind of an emotional charge when you went up to plate?
Yeah, I knew that I was just going to be confident in myself. Lena went down, and I was like, you know what, I just got to get this party started and just hit the ball hard, not even try to hit it out or nothing. But Kelly was dealing. Our team was fighting on defense, and today was just a dogfight. So just continuing just to hit the ball hard was the only thing that I was thinking of.
All right, we'll stay on the front row left to Barry.
Yeah, Barry Trammell with the Tulsa World. Tiara, do you ever think about your place in OU history? I mean, it's one thing to win games and things, but, I mean, you're one of the all-time greats. Do you ever ponder that, or is that something for later?
Yeah, I don't think about it. Something for later, for sure. Definitely an honor when I see it up on social media, but when I'm in the moment, I don't think of anything besides just fighting for this team.
All right, we'll go front row left to Jenny.
Kelly, you can't say you had an eye-opening conversation with Coach and not tell us a little more. What was that conversation? What were the just topics? And when you sat down, you sort of had a big exhale. Can you kind of talk us through the emotions of all this?
I mean, it was definitely faith-oriented and just giving him all the power in him to just go out there and be free and play free. And I think we had a good game plan, Coach Rocha, and just being able to mix speeds and just trusting my team behind my back.
All right, we'll stay front row left.
Brady Brennan, Softball America. Kelly, just kind of going off of that point, it just seemed a lot of your swing and misses were on off speeds or just taking a little bit off pitches. Just was that kind of the plan of attack today and just going against a really good lineup today?
Yeah, I think it's a really important whenever you're playing a team like UCLA. I mean, they have really good hitters top to bottom, so you always got to keep them off balance and change their timing. So just being able to change speeds and just go for it.
All right, we'll go front row left to Eric.
Riley, Eric Bailey, Tulsa World. Riley, you've seen the evolution of Kelly from day one joining this program to today. What was she like this afternoon, just battling out of issues, base runners and such, and going to that seventh inning and just bearing down and getting those last 3 outs?
I think she was super calm. I think she knew who she was playing for. She looked like there was nothing that could happen to rattle her. I felt her confidence, and I felt so much trust that she trusted us, knowing that she can leave everything on the field, and at the end of the day, defense is going to have her back. And we knew that every pitch that she gave, there was no questioning it. She looked all in, and it looked like she was playing for God, and then like no one else was in the stadium except for her and God.
All right, we'll stay front row left.
Sydney Supley, Softball America. Riley, I don't think there's anyone in the country who celebrates a bunt as well as you do.
Oh.
What do you hope for in those moments to really fire your team up?
Honestly, just giving them the bat, passing them the bat. I'm not really worried about trying to be a hero, getting the big hit, but I trusted Avery, whatever the outcome was. I trusted that she was going to get the job done, whatever it looked like, and I kind of just like give my energy to the team of just like take this and run with it, and let's see what happens.
All right, we'll go second row left.
Colton Sully, the Oklahoman. TRA, how special was it to get to play against Maya again for potentially the last time on this field?
Yeah, super special. Me and her go way back. Just celebrating her birthday today, and just we know no matter what, the love runs deep, way more than softball. And I texted her this morning. I said, no matter the outcome, I love you, and I'm rooting for you. And just we have that sisterhood like it's no other. And you just move on and you wish them the best.
All right, we'll get a second row on the right.
Daniel Homrock, OU Daily. TRA, just going off of that, can you just describe that relationship with her and just what was it like just seeing her today?
Yeah, just going through travel ball together. Grew up together and playing for Batbusters, specifically for Mike Stith, Mark Campbell, a coach really near dear to us who passed away. And we know that the Batbusters just run deep for each other, no matter we're on the field. Super competitive. We're super, super competitive. We see her, I'm like, hey, you're too slow to go catch that little flyer. Then she just looks at me and laughs. So, no matter how competitive we are, just again, the love runs deep for the Batbusters. And for me and her, it's just a full circle moment on the field.
Right, that'll wrap up questions for players. Thank you. All right, we'll start questions for Coach Gasso with second row on the right to Ryan.
Ryan Aber from the Oklahoman. Patty, can you talk to us a little bit about that conversation this morning with Kelly, what that was like, and just what, from your perspective, was what made this performance stand out the way it did?
What stood out is her response, without question. She has been going through a lot. She's been through a lot. This was a big game for her, so it was really getting it off of her. It's been hanging on her since she got here, and it's been hard to watch her not be able to break through because there's just so many negatives coming, and it just is. It's everywhere. And the conversation was really faith-based, and just hand it over to the Lord and let him guide you. Just be free. She has not pitched free, and that's what's been going on. So to see her do that today, something I'll never forget.
All right, we'll go to the front row left to Jenny.
Patty, can you talk a little bit about UCLA's pitching? Obviously went with Terry and Tinsley. Just the challenge of those two, because obviously Tiara gets the big swing, but they really did a good job on you guys.
They did. They're very challenging. Our game plan was a little off, but they're tough. They move the ball really, really well. I respect the job that that those guys have done. They're young pitchers, and they did not come in feeling intimidated by us or anything. You knew that right from the start. So they just pounded the zone and were making us chase and making us look, and they did a really good job. And when I'm looking at these numbers, they're almost identical, with the exception of TRA's home run. So it was quite a matchup. Quite a matchup.
Right, we'll go to front row right to Jesse.
Jesse Crittenden, OU Insider. Patty, on Thursday was the offensive explosion against Duke, but today offense is really hard to come by for both teams. Just how important is it to maybe win a real defensive battle like this?
Yeah, we've been doing that throughout the season at times. When our offense has been a little stale, our defense will come up and make big plays. Our pitchers will make big competitive pitches. Today, our defense did a really nice job. UCLA was also hitting the ball pretty hard, both sides. They robbed one from Pickering with a great play, and we're just kind of going back and forth. So defense is important. If you have 2 of 3, you're lucky if you're going to beat UCLA with 2 of 3. So fortunately, we got that big hit, but there were moments when I felt like we were making, putting good swings on, and they were making good plays early in the game. But I don't know, it felt like 2 heavyweights just going back and forth. I don't know what it felt like from the crowd, because at times it could feel like it could be a boring game. Like, we want offense. So this is one of those good old-fashioned pitching duels. It's fun, but it's like, it's just like gut-wrenching. So.
Just a quick follow-up. Is there any update on Alina? How is she?
Yeah, she got it pretty good. So definitely could not go back in the game, but she's getting medical attention from our great doctors, and we'll see if she'll be available. Fortunately, we have the day off tomorrow, right? I don't even know. Yes, we have the day off, and that's very needed for her. It's very needed for us as well. So hopefully she can get back in, but I'm not sure yet.
All right, we'll go front row left to Eric.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I want to ask about Elena. Just Avery coming in and really at a moment's notice knowing that she's up, a pitch away. I guess all substitutions are that way. Can you talk about her coming in and playing, and then what you just mentioned, having a day off? How nice is it just playing a day, getting a day off, playing a day, getting a day off? When you're playing as well as you are, is that good to have that day off, or would you rather keep playing when you're playing with that momentum?
I will speak on behalf of them. It is great to have a day off. For me, I want to just keep playing and be done. It's like, just the waiting around is not my favorite thing, but they need the rest. And I think any coach will tell you, it's a different world now. It really is. It's a different world of softball. It is intense. The stakes are different. Everything feels different. It's hard to breathe sometimes. And I know the athletes feel that, and that's very much that student welfare is what I care about. I want them to be healthy. I want them to be rested, and I want their minds to be, I want them to feel safe, that we're not just get out there, keep going. You got to pay closer attention to this generation because they have a lot of needs, and rightly so. And then you asked me something else. Avery, yeah, I did it backwards. Avery has been, I think, people are asking, why do you keep doing that? Why do you keep, well, this is a great reason why, is you have someone that can come in and not miss a beat on defense. I think Avery was a little overmatched offensively, but we were trying to work the dirt, and we didn't get a pitch to allow us to really do that. But having her there made us feel really good.
All right, we'll go front row right to Ryan.
Patty, what was the decision for going back to Kelly? I know you've leaned on the staff all year, but obviously it worked out great, but just the lead up to that.
We always look at matchups, and I'm going to tell you, our other pitchers are doing such a great job of sticking with us because they all want it. I think it's very important after the conversation that I had with Kelly that we see how this plays out, because we need her at another level with the rest of our pitchers. So maybe it was a little bit selfish, but I know now that she knows what she can do, and that will open up the door for everybody else here as well. So that was a lot to do with it.
All right, we have time for two more. We'll go to front row left to James.
James Hale, OKC Sports Radio 105.3 HD1. Patty, you've had so many great hitters, and I know TRA is one of them. I know that, but you still have her in the lineup. And the fact that she delivered again, I know when you ask her, she's not ready to talk about anything, but she's meant so much to you. And what is it like to have that bat in the lineup?
Well, it kind of feels like Jocelyn Allo. At times when she comes up, something good's going to happen, especially on these big stages. But I think the softball world, whether you like us or not, we've got some really unbelievable athletes that you should enjoy watching. And maybe you don't like their style, but if you love good softball, then you should really appreciate what this group has been doing for a long time and living at a level that is very difficult. The saying of heavy is the head that wears the crown is really true. It really is true. So right now, we aren't the number one seed. We're just kind of rolling the way we need to, how we know how. And this team, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just they're so comfortable and confident in this setting that I leave them alone, let them do their thing.
All right, this last question. Joe, second row left.
Joe Masato, the Oklahoman. Patty, offense has been down, throughout this tournament. Combined batting average is south of 200. Is it just a matter of dominant pitching or any other ways to explain? It's kind of like a throwback almost.
That's a good analogy, because that's what softball was like way back in the day. When you had Lisa Fernandez on the mound, you're not scoring more than one run. I think the pitching staffs out there are very, very good, and the way you can interchange some if needed. And it's a young group of pitchers that are really doing an outstanding job. But I think, gone are the days. This is Kelly throwing a full game. It's almost gone are those days. But because she was in a place, we wanted to keep going. But everyone has a good pitching staff. And that's the difference, is if you can call on 2 or 3 or 4 that can get the job done, that's what I'm seeing happening across the country.
All right, that'll wrap things up for Oklahoma.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Reminder, no recordings of the press conference. Please silence all cell phones and electronic devices, and give your name and affiliation when you get the mic to ask a question. We're joined by UCLA head coach Kelly Inouye-Perez and players Jordan Woolery, Charlize Palacios, and Maya Brady. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Inouye-Perez and then go to questions to players. Players will leave, and then we'll go back to questions for Coach. So, Coach, if you have an opening statement.
Yeah, I shared with my team, that's a tough team. Oklahoma's a tough team, but today they were just one pitch better than us. I'm proud of my team. I'm proud of how we played. I'm proud of how we defended. Proud of both my pitchers and how they competed. So, the path that we're going to take is we're going to have more ABs, and I think that's a good thing. The opportunity for us to get more live ABs on the stage is going to allow us to be able to see the ball better, start getting more comfortable with the field, and I believe, this team does a great job of adjusting, so this is the path. I'm going to say it again. I'm just proud, and we're not done yet.
Questions for players? Okay, we'll start front row right with Ryan.
Ryan Aber for the Oklahoman, for all of the players. I guess starting off with you, Maya, what was the toughest thing about Kelly Maxwell today? What was working for her and what made her so difficult?
She's a great pitcher. So, she's their ace, and obviously they're at this point because of her. And she's a great person and a great pitcher. And I think Jen Roach is a great pitch caller. So sometimes it's just not your day, and sometimes it's the pitcher's day. And she came up with a lot of good pitches. But I feel like we are good enough to say that, we didn't play our best either. So obviously she's a great pitcher, and she just had great stuff working today.
Shirley, you want to go next?
Yeah, I think Maya said it all. She's a great pitcher, but I think we can be one pitch better next game.
Yeah, I agree. We could just be one pitch better and just stick to having quality at bats too.
All right, we'll go front row left.
Brady Vernon, Softball America. I guess, Charlize, how impressed have you been with these two young pitchers all year long, especially on this stage right now?
That was pretty impressive of an outing for them, right? They did a really good job. They were super composed since the first pitch that they pitched, and it was really fun catching them today. They had all their good stuff today. They were gritty competitors. We've known it this entire time, but now the world knows it, so nothing new for us.
All right, we'll go third row right.
Taking you in with the LA Times, Maya, I was actually going to ask you a similar question. Just from your perspective, from the shortstop position, just what impressed you the most about the way KT and Taylor have handled this stage in both of these games?
Yeah, to hold that offense to one run is it's a pretty good outing. So I think for me, my favorite thing is when KT gives up a hit and she turns around and laughs. And to me, that tells me that my freshman pitcher is in a really good place, and she's unshakable, and she's in her zone. And I think for all of us, we love seeing that. As a defense, that gives us a lot of confidence. And Tins literally went out there and did her thing. She did that against Alabama. In our last game, she came out and was just an absolute animal. So I think for me, obviously I'm not as involved as Shar, but as somebody that's in very close proximity to them, I think they give us a lot of confidence. So they definitely gave us an opportunity to go up and score some runs for them, and they did a great job holding them to one run. And yeah.
Right, we'll go second row right.
Daniel Homrock, OU Daily. Maya, I saw you embracing TRA before her game on Thursday. Just what was it like seeing her today, and just describe that relationship with her?
Yeah, I always love seeing her. I think obviously us not going to school together, this is kind of the arena that we get to see each other play a lot. So it's really cool. I just love watching her do her thing and live out her dream. And I told her, she sent me a nice text today, and I just told her, when you win, I win. And no matter the outcome, we love each other. And so it's just awesome to see her do her thing.
More questions for players? Okay, we'll go front row left.
Kind of sets up you guys with the rematch with Stanford. I just wonder if you guys could speak about just facing them again, especially just opportunities against Inouye.
Maya, maybe you want to start and then come down the line?
Yeah. Yeah, they're a great team. We faced them 3 times, obviously. Faced Inouye twice. She's a great pitcher, and we're just going to have to go out and, have quality at-bats and be one pitch better than we were today.
Yeah, I think we're just excited to play with each other, not really looking to the opponent. I think we're all just excited to play another 7 innings with each other.
Yeah, I would agree. And I'm just excited to play with these girls for another day, and I want to keep continuing to play too.
Any more questions for players? All right, thank you, players. All right, questions for Coach? Okay. Start front row left with Jenny.
Kelly, can you just talk about seeing an offense go through what yours did today, I mean, obviously they know that, you know, they get a couple hits and can turn things, but also just sort of the pressure that comes with going against a pitcher pitching as well as Maxwell. What did you sort of see as the game went on from your hitters?
I saw just softball and you know, the stage is big and there's big at-bats and there's a lot on the line, but for us it's about quality at-bats, and our ability to slow the game down is something we've been good at, and I didn't see a lot of that until in the early parts of the game, but we did slow the game down. They did take some better pitches. We did get some runners on and put some pressure on them as well. So I'm not really sure what you saw, but what I saw was we came out aggressive and we didn't really square up balls. We were swinging and missing a lot, but then we slowed the game down, had some better at-bats, got some runners on, and put ourselves in a position to win the ball game. With it, it's the game. You know, you've got to clutch up with runners in scoring position. That's why I say, you know, they had one pitch, they capitalized, and we didn't. And so as a result, we're going to take a different path. But we're still on a mission, and like I say, I think it's a good thing that we're going to get more at bats, because I want these girls to. We're better than that, and I believe that our best is yet to come. So we just got to continue to play softball.
More questions? Second row left to Joe.
Joe Masato, the Oklahoman. Kelly, offense has been down throughout the tournament, especially here in the World Series. Is it just as simple as, you know, every team has an ace, a deeper staff? Is it just pitching is that good, or do you have any other explanations for it?
I think you just said it all. I mean, this is the best of the best. So offense is not something that you have, you know, everybody would love to run world teams on this stage, but it's not something that you can come in and expect when you're facing the best pitchers in the country. I'm also going to say the umpires, you know, are I'm not blaming umpires, but we got to get used to and figure out, you know, what the zone is and get more comfortable. We were inconsistent with what we were trying to do at the plate today. But defense wins championships here. Your ability, and we did some great things on defense. You know, runs are a bonus when you're facing the best pitchers in the game. But the best teams will find a way to make adjustments against these pitchers. But that's, you know, I've been here a long time, and we've had some great games where we've blown out some teams, and that's always a lot of fun. But you also have to understand that we're facing the best of the best. So being able to come through with runners in scoring position is what you got to do if you want to win national championships. So we just have to be one pitch better.
All right, we'll go third row right.
Kelly, you mentioned those pitchers for KT after giving up that home run. What did you see kind of from her demeanor, and what makes you confident about what you can get from her tomorrow?
She is unique in the sense, you know, she reminds me a lot of Rachel Garcia. You know, Rachel, you know, she was unfazed. You know, KT is very similar at such a young age that it's very impressive for her to really kind of play her own game. She's a competitor. She's accountable. She's developed in a very short time. But to have that confidence is something that, you know, it's tough to teach, especially on this kind of stage against that kind of offense. You know, she won't let people beat her. She was very convicted. There was a time she shook a pitch in the middle of the game. She really hasn't done that, but she ended up getting the batter out, and she came in. She's like, "No, I know how to get her out." And I thought, she hadn't even played this team. She's never even played this team, and she doesn't even know, you know, at the end of the day. And so I think a big part of it earlier in the season, I had them actually not look at a lot of video. It's not about who they are. It's just about your ability to come up with pitches. So that's why I say the one pitch that she gave up, you know, we wanted to stretch against Tiara. It wasn't a miss. It was on me on calling a pitch that was too close to the zone, and she did exactly that. But there's no fear. There's no fear for her, and I think that's impressive. You know, she's going to have a great future simply because she loves to compete, and she gets stronger and stronger, and she doesn't like coming out of a game either, which I love. I love that. But that's what you want to have, that mentality, that grit, that ability to compete is something that makes the best of the best, you know, in that circle.
More questions? Okay, I think that'll wrap things up.
Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.